Okay. Do you want to talk about Sheik today, or what do you want to go over today?
I want to focus more on my general play today. I feel like I overthink stuff or I go for too many swings and I just kind of let people get out for free. Like I let them roll into me or roll behind me and I don't react to it. And that's kind of what I work on, but any character would work.
Okay. Um, why don't we just try a quick friendly then, and then I'll kind of see what you mean, right?
All right, sounds good to me.
This is good. Oh. Nice. Not bad.
I still feel like there's times where like I just let them roll past me for free or I try to swing when I could just wait and react, but I just don't let myself do it. But I'm not for sure, so that's why I'm seeking help, you know?
Did you see any particular examples just now?
Not that I can think of. Like, looking back, I see it, but not when I play, and that's kind of what I want to work on. I need someone just to, unbiased and in real time, be like, hey, stop that, or hey, do this.
Okay. Well, I haven't particularly noticed that in this match, that you let me buy you without...
Oh, without getting by.
Nice. So, would you say that's
Thank you,
how a typical match goes for you in this matchup?
I find that when I play a lot of foxes, what I wind up doing is a certain kind of fox will have me feel like I need to just dash dance on the other side of the stage and go in with a dash attack. And I don't know how they get me in that state of mind, but they do. They make me feel like I can't just run at them or try to weave through them, and I don't know how it is. Like, I can't explain it, but I just feel like people pick me apart easily.
Okay. So, typically in a match, it feels more like this.
Yeah, I do, and then I try to do that. I try like I'm over here doing this, and I go whop, and then they just punish me with something. Is typically what happens against a fox that really beats me, or if they're going on the platforms, I just feel like I have to chase them and I can't get them, and then I retreat here and they just overshoot me or something.
Why don't you try approaching me a couple times right now?
Thank you. Oh shoot, double jump was gone. Yeah. I like that wave dash up tilt. That was really good for. Thank you. Nah.
Alright, so in this game, I really just did not approach you past the halfway point. Right?
Okay.
You kind of noticed that?
Yeah, I'm. Now that I retrospectively think about it, yeah, I was constantly trying to come in with those down tilts and wave dash in like grabs or up tilts. Like it's just kind of going at it.
Yeah, and so basically, the first game we played, it was like a more natural friendly, right? And so in this game, I kind of decided to never cross the halfway point and shot lasers, right?
That's kind of, now that you mention, that's kind of what the foxes that pick me apart do. They just stay to their side and wait for me to do something desperate.
Exactly. So right now, what you've explained to me and what we're encountering right now is you have a difficult time passing the center line and engaging with your approach, right? It's always easier for you to kind of like interact with his approach, right?
Yeah.
You
I'm
do
very
well.
counter-based.
Yeah, you do well with counter approaches, right? You kind of predict how he's going to come in, guard yourself, and right. But you want to apply that strength you have to more of your game plan, right? Because right now your approach strength or the way you approach is weak, right? You did dash attack and running down tilt. I don't see you approaching with aerials very well, and I don't ever see you approaching with grab.
Okay.
Right? So you limit yourself in your strength by never doing dash grab, right? So it's actually quite far. It's like about this length, right? That you can basically burst into dash grab range.
So I shouldn't always jump. I should do dash grabs instead of jump
No,
grabs?
you can do JC. The point is not the exact length of it, right? But like how much notice I have exactly, right? So like from about this range, you can basically just grab me on approach, exactly, right?
Holy crap! Yeah.
But you never threaten this because you're never one in this type of position, and then two, you're never just throwing out dash grab, right?
So I'm kind of playing rock paper scissors without rock, kinda.
Exactly, right? You want to use the strengths of all of your approaches when you approach, right? So you're using dash attack and down tilt, and those are two forward-facing attacks, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's other versions of this, right? There's low fair, rising fair, nair. There's forward smash, right? You've never running forward smashed me.
Okay, so not as much as wave dash F smash, but like.
You can do either. You can do like. The important thing about my lesson with you is I'm not going to give you the exact one answer. Okay, I'm going to help you move along the path where you're going to create lots of answers in your own head, and you'll see which one's the right one based on the situation or what pros do or whatever, right? Like, I'm not going to tell you just to practice wave dash F smash or running F smash, right? The difference between those two is so minute, you're going to have to learn the difference. Are you there? Did I lose you? Okay, wait. Hey, hold on. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the last thing you heard me say?
I think it was like shortly after it was I said rock paper scissors without punishing with the running down smash. That was it.
Or running F smash.
Talk about running down smash. Sorry, F smash.
Yeah. So the important thing about my lessons with you is I'm not going to give you like the perfect exact answer. Right? I'm not going to teach you to like you need to do pivot F smash or you need to do running F smash, right?
Yeah.
The important thing is like you're gonna guide yourself along this journey better by asking those better questions, right? So like what I notice about your forward approaches is you're weak at them because you're limiting your options and you're not strong at the distances, right? You're not familiar with like at this distance you can dash grab me. At this distance is like tip or fair.
Okay. So maybe float in a bit and do that. So
you can do rising tip or fair from here.
Wait, rising to prefer from, oops, sorry. Here?
Yeah.
Like in place or approaching?
Approaching.
What? What? That's crazy.
See, so your strength does not lie in your approach, right? Your strength lies in your counter approach.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never familiarize yourself with your forward-facing hitboxes.
Okay, yeah.
Right, so like, can you tip or F smash me from wherever you're standing?
Like just like scoot up till it's a tipper?
I don't know. How do it fast is the real thing, right?
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Right, so like, I mean, if I was you, I would be able to running F smash that, right?
Yeah.
Like, so go underneath the platform, yeah, and then just running F smash me, right? And you want to tipper it. Right, and it's just practice, right? And then same thing with like the wave dash, right? Can you do the wave dash tipper?
No, okay, I still need to practice that.
Right.
And really
Yeah, exactly. So your strength is your counter approaches, right? But right now we're noticing that you're just weak at coming at me accurately.
Okay. Is there drills I can do for this, like maybe against the computer or something?
Yes.
At some point. Okay.
Well, here's one. I'll just give you one right now. You have 20xx, right?
No, just 5.8.7.
Okay, get 20xx as well, but press A for me. Pick Marth. Pick Fox or whoever, it doesn't matter. Okay, pick a stage. Okay, set him to evade. Okay, and when you get close to him, he's gonna move, right?
Okay.
So the point of this is to not only successfully land an approach, right? But to land an approach that follows up into something, right?
Okay, so just to counter, like, even if it's a grab or something?
It can be anything, man. And at low percents, yeah. There you go, right? So you did like a, it was not a true combo, right? You did kind of like a sloppy combo into edge guard.
Yeah.
Right? So try to qualify it as you do it, right? Like I did with this approach. There you go. Keep going.
Oh, and then I dropped it there.
Well, you just had to turn around, right? Or do the up air, right? And this is just one of the easy drills for you to practice your approaches. and into follow-up, right? And so notice though that, hold up, notice that the last two approaches you did were like falling up airs, right? How often are you actually going to run up to Fox and get that approach?
Okay, never.
Yeah, right. So like,
read.
You're kind of just skipping to the part where like, let's just start this fun combo that I know how to do.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to like start from ground zero, which is let's get close to him and do a good approach, right? At first, you're just gonna kind of swing wildly and get straight hits, right? Eventually, you're gonna find like these control points. Okay, I'm gonna wait for him, get that tipper fair into grab into F smash or something, right? And if this is too difficult, set him to just stand right now. Right? Set him to just stand and try to zero to death him, right?
Okay, so like start with an idiot. Okay, I see. So start off with some spaced aerial into
control, exactly, right.
I messed that up.
It's okay. The point is that you just keep going with more control. So like right there, hold up. So you did falling up air to up tilt real fast, right? You do this a lot, right? Do you think you do this at the right time every time?
No.
Do you do it appropriately?
Sometimes.
Yeah, there's sometimes
Not all the time.
So there are sometimes you do this inappropriately, right? But because you fall back on it so fast, and you kind of are just jumping through these exercises, this is how you're gonna play in tournament.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like
bad practice. Yeah, bad practice builds bad habits.
Right. So like when you practice, make sure when something fails, you stop and ask yourself, why did it fail? Was that the wrong move, or did I do it wrong? Right?
Okay.
Most of the time, low-level players will just think they did it wrong. I need to do this faster, or if I had just my texture was perfect, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
Right? But in the reality of it, you probably just picked the wrong move.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Looking back, thinking of some of my old matches, watching it, I'll start asking myself why in ever living hell did I do that up air there? But okay, I'm just starting to piece it together now. Kind of all the things I'm not thinking about, but I'm doing wrong because I'm not thinking about them.
Exactly, right? Like, it only took me 30 seconds to realize this is how you favorite practice, right? You like to practice with this up air.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
So
it's just like, yeah.
Yes, exactly, right? You want to force yourself to go on the edge of what you're doing, right? Because if you always practice what you're comfortable with, you're going to do that in tournament. Right? Now you're practicing tippers. Right?
Yeah.
See? It's like a different form of looking at the game. Right? And now you're getting these tipper fairs. Yep, exactly. And then they're going to set up for knockdown or tech chase or whatever, right?
Or regrab or just something other than a complete whiff.
Exactly. Right? And some of these tests are harder than other tests right now. Like right now you're trying to get that pivot fair. It's not an easy thing, right?
Nah.
Especially out of dash dance. I'll just tell you right now, pivot out of dash dance is 1, difficult, and 2, unlikely to be used in tournament.
Okay. As cool as it is, I'll have to kind of put it on the back burner for now until I
Well, yeah.
actually deserve to use it.
Yeah, I mean, there is a god like Marth out there that's doing what you just did, right? That has perfect technique with dash dance and pivoting, right? I mean, if you really want to get good at that, man, that's your prerogative, right? But for me, it's like, how do I help you increase your win rate the highest?
Yeah,
right?
Cover my bad parts.
Yeah, and right now, one of your bad parts is you don't approach correctly. Right? You limit yourself to just down tilt and dash attack. And you're going to learn different things, right? As you practice this tipper fair, you're going to learn its weaknesses in combat. You're like, oh, there are a lot of times I'm baited into doing it, and I just don't have experience with this, right? You're going to need a couple tournaments worth of experience.
Okay.
That's pretty decent.
Oh, and I dropped it.
It's okay.
And I got it.
Just got to get a little closer. Right. But like it'll take you a couple tournaments worth of experience to understand why each approach is strong and weak, right? But right now that's not even in the agenda. Right now you're still like masking the approach problem with just counter approaching only.
So I kind of missed some fundamentals a couple of years back with approaching, and that's kind of carried with me for all this time, hasn't it?
A little bit, and like, you know, you got as good as you did because you're really strong at counter approaching, right? So don't discount your strength, right? But also understand your weakness.
Yeah. Okay, so other than practicing these tipper moves, I'm not gonna ask for the move, but what are the moves I should be practicing tippering, and how should I practice doing them? Like, should I continue trying to do shield stop?
Here's a short list. Here's a short list, and it doesn't matter how you do it, right? Because you're answering the question yourself. There's multiple ways to do it, right? Shield stopping, not wave dashing, drifting, whatever. Just make sure you try all variations of it, right? Especially with drifts, maximum, middle ways, whatever. But here's the big moves: rising fair and falling fair, right? There's a difference between the two of them, right? Dash grab, dash attack, F smash, and maybe nair, right? I mean, you're gonna do this yourself. You're just gonna watch more Marth, and you're gonna see how they get approaches that you don't get, right? And then remember, let's go back to me playing the game with you. Let's just get out of here.
Oops, I can't just hold B.
Remember how I said I didn't just cross the middle line? Right? And it took a little bit of observation, right? Where, like, you had to explain the problem to me. What does our the typical match kind of look like? Right? It didn't look like the one we first had. Right? And so you're going to have to ask yourself, what do Marths do to bridge this distance? Right? Do they do just dash attack? Do they do something else, right? Can you hear me? Okay, I don't know what keeps moving me.
It's fine. Last thing I heard was you took me to explain to you that this is not the normal match. I'd explained the problem to you. Didn't cross center of stage.
Exactly. So, like, now you're gonna ask these questions to yourself while you watch YouTube, right? Like, how do they bridge this distance, right? And you're gonna have to practice the same types of approaches they're doing, right?
So yeah, okay. So I'll need to start looking out for that, because now that you mention it, I can probably start remembering them. But I honestly cannot tell you a single way that I remember watching a player approach from the other side or by crossing middle, because all I could ever think of is that dash attack and some F smash, and I need to keep my eyes out for that now.
Well, yeah, and it's more like a positional thing, so it's harder for you to notice, right? Where it's like, stop attack me. So, like, you're here, right? And I'm here, right? So you're gonna have to just, like, pause the YouTube and just assess this game state, right? Where, how does this progress? You know, and if it always progresses with Fox going forward, you're gonna have to look for a different situation, right? You're gonna have to look for the situation where Marth goes forward and how, right? So, like, exactly. Like, he gets there and wave dashes back, or he gets there, wave dashes down, or he just goes the whole way in, you know. And then, like, at what point does he stop? Halfway, you know. This lesson is called cutting the distance in half, right? Where it's not just about me getting from point A to point B, right? In combat, it's very rare for me to go from the start of point A to U unimpeded, right? The plan is going to change.
So is there a good handful of situations in which cutting in half, it begins with, if the fox is still playing defensive and waiting for me to try to approach him, there's a lot of situations where I could just run up and wave dash in place and just take that place because I know he's not going to try to counter approach me, and then work from here? Is that kind of what you mean?
In
like
the most basic sense, yes. You don't want to go exactly in half necessarily every time. You want to look at Fox's effective range, right? So, like, when you're so far away, you want to cut the distance in half in an intelligent way, right? So, like, when you get to here, there's no way. So, like, imagine you did the wave dash down right where I am, right? So there's no way that Fox can hit you from this position without you noticing it.
So I can react to it as long as I'm not already trying to, like, move in with something.
Exactly, right? So as long as you're available at this spot, right? You're not in, like, lag or you know, right? So I mean, if your reactions are bad, it needs to be further and further, right? But, you know, almost no human can react to this. Right? It's a guessing game at this point. All right?
Would I be able to? No. Okay. See, I could not even tell if that hit or not, even though do it. It's so far. I really need to practice that. Now
You
that
definitely
said
need to
that.
practice that as Marth. You need to know exactly how far that sword is, right? Can you tipper me from walking? There you go, right?
Yay! Did that.
So,
I was nervous.
yeah, it's okay, man. But the point is like, you're gonna get better at knowing this neutral distance, right? Where you need to be able to understand, how far is too far. This is too far, right?
Oh, sorry, too far to do something that you can't react to. Yeah.
Well, no, this is too far because I'm gonna do this, and then you're gonna start panicking and do this kind of approach, right?
Oh yeah.
Right? You literally cannot approach from this distance, right? The approach that you have to do is like, you mask where you are laterally. Like, this is the point of dash dancing, right? So that you can eventually get to this distance. Stop moving, stop moving, stop moving, stop moving. Right? So I'm moving back and forth like Marth would be, right? And the point is eventually you'll reach like here, right? To a reactable distance.
Okay.
Right. The point of it is not to just move and just force him to counter approach you, right? I'm not just moving so that you bait him in, because that's your strength right now. Is you just pull the dude into you and then you counterattack him, right? But when you are doing this dance or movement to take more ground, right? You want to establish ground at a pace, right? So like, start here, right? So, you can use dash dancing or wave dashing, right? But you move closer to like here. You get what I'm saying?
So keep it. So that was a little too far. So I should go to about a little further, shouldn't I? Yeah.
Well, it depends,
So
right?
here.
It depends.
No, it's too close. Okay.
Yeah. Now you're getting a better sense of this, right? And another thing is like how you move there, right? If you're literally running like this, I'm just gonna run at you too, right? It's based on our stances, right? So I dash, and I know what that looks like, and you know what you look like, right? And as soon as you start the running animation, you lock yourself out of a lot of tools. Right?
Okay.
Think about this. When you start the running animation, you're basically saying dash attack or down tilt. Or maybe aerial.
But either way, it's unless they wave dash back at some kind of approach, but then again, that's still limitation. It's either attack or no attack at that point.
Yeah, right? Like, it's all about stance, right? So if you're only in dashes, it's harder for me to know that you're locked into this thing, right? And sometimes you're dash dancing too fast, yeah. Make sure you do slower dash dances to control yourself. Yeah. Mix in the fast ones when necessary, but don't always do fast. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so prioritize just doing the full ones
Not
and
full.
just react with.
It's not full. It's slower. You can do slower dash dances, not full.
What's the difference between slower and full? Like, are you talking full like when it's like almost this kind, or
Yeah. So full is just allowing the dash to go the full length, right? Slow is not turning as fast as you can, right? You want to gain some distance,
Okay.
right? The reason you want to gain some distance is because the point of the dash dance is not to be stationary, right? The point is not to occupy exactly one spot. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you already
when
know.
you start doing this, you're just a bigger target when you start doing this.
Yes, right. You're already good at dash dancing to pull people in, right? Like, you know how to pull me in and counterattack my approach, right? Like, as I drill in, exactly. You already know how to do that one, right?
Yeah.
So the way to do the forward one is very similar, right? It's very similar. It's just you need to know when to stop, right?
And that's a wave dash down at that point?
You can do wave dash down. You can just let go of the dash, depending on how good your dash dance control is. Right?
Okay.
You can do shield stop aerial. There's a lot of different techniques, right? And the point is though is that the initial thing, right, which is distance, right? You can't run at me from too far away. Right? If you run at me from this far away, it's too bad.
Yeah.
Right? But from like this distance, it's so hard for me to know.
That's rising fair distance, yeah?
That's a little too far. Like, this is like dash grab. right?
Okay.
To get Rising Fair, I would need to be here, right?
Wow, that's crazy how you just know that. Oops, do the full hop.
Yeah, and you see, like, I'm just right outside with my nose, right? And it's just, you need to know this blade a lot better, especially when you want to attack forward, right? Like, you know how to get people as they're coming in, almost like a tennis ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
But can you reach people with maximum length every time?
No, I sometimes do it, but I feel like it's lucky more than anything.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to.
You don't want it to be lucky. You want it to be consistent, right? And it just comes with familiarity,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's all stupid exercises. Not, I shouldn't say stupid. They're mundane, right? Things like, well, like just tipper me, right? Like this is a very mundane exercise that you probably just skipped.
Yeah.
Right. And when I picked up Marth, I wanted to tipper everything. You know why? Because I got punished for not. Right.
Ooh.
Doing the wave dash up tilt, I would just suggest you shy away from this approach.
Okay.
You are strong at it, and it is good when it's good. I'll just say it's very weak to many things.
Okay. So it's more of a mix-up kind of thing.
Yeah, and like right now, your forward approaches are just so weak that I want to teach you the bread and butter before you start learning the exceptions, right?
Okay. I can't even tip her down still. There we go. Got
It's
one.
much farther than you think it is.
Oh, gracious.
Right? And it starts with stationary, right? You might have skipped just stationary stuff in favored of just, you know, pursuing movement and trickiness and fun or whatever, right?
Yeah, that sounds absolutely correct.
Right? And remember how I explained that you like to do this falling up air into combo thing, right? Like, whatever you liked to do reflects from practice and in your tournaments, right? So, if you started practicing falling up air to dash dance.
So.
Right, and then and then if you're able to stop your dash dance or control your dash dance, right? So you do that falling up air, and then maybe you get a regrab, right? But sometimes you're still just doing this up tilt so fast that you're losing what you could be doing, right? That's like that's like an up B or an F smash, right? And you'll also start noticing things like, okay, as you're doing the up air, you know it's a soft up air instead of a tipper up air, right? And you can choose. If you choose to do the soft one, you get better combos at some percent, right? There's definitely percents where I'm too high, and if you do tipper up air, I'm too far away, right? But if you do the soft up air, you keep up that chain. You know what I'm talking about, like 100%, right?
Yeah, like if it's, I think anywhere between 100 and like 150 against fast fallers, if you do weak up there, it leads to something juicy. But against floaties, you kind of want to do that weak one at like 130 or
exactly, right. So like you know these things in part of your combos, right? But do you have the exercise and control to always choose how you want to execute the move, right?
Yeah, no, I don't. A lot of times with combos, I just kind of, I know what I want to do, and I kind of just hope it works out with these tippers and the spacing. I'm like, it'll work if I can do it, but I don't know if I can. Here goes nothing.
And here's the thing, man. There's two people in you, okay? There's one which is the guy in your head saying, okay, I gotta go here and do these types of combos, right? That's the guy who has all the great ideas, who's watching all the YouTubes, right? This is how Marth combos, right? But there's another version of you. The guy holding the controller, being told to do the things he's the guy in the head, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So the guy in the head's like, all right, do these sick combos. And then the guy with the controller in his hands is like, all right, I'm doing what you're telling me to do.
I'm gonna look like Pew Pew and Zane together.
Well, just you know, slow down and just, the guy with the controller can only do what the guy with the controller can do. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
He can't do more than he's capable of.
Like, my brain knows all these good things, but I can't execute it because the guy holding it's not there yet.
Right.
Is that kind of what you mean?
Yes, right. And it has nothing to do with your intelligence or anything. It's just you're unable to perform the ideas in your head because you've not clearly been practicing them, right? You want to clearly execute and understand what you're good and weak at. I mean, it's fine, dude.
Miguel's
you're not gonna be
approaches.
perfect right out the gate, right? And I can barely do the skill that you're asking yourself to do right now, right? I can barely do the dash dance tipper perfectly as Marth, right? And I'm a Marth man.
That's something I have grinded out, but not in a healthy way.
Well,
Just in the kind of how can I be cool, not how can I be good kind of way.
yeah, and I'll say, dude, you're not gonna do this approach in combat. And if you do, you're a baller, right? What you really are gonna do are these different versions of fair. Like the way you can like dash shield stop fair, or rising or falling, right? Or dash grabbing. Like the fact that you just don't practice this because it's not sexy, right? Like this will just get you damage, right? Or you know, a different version of it, which is you get close and then you dash dance grab, right? Like,
So
yeah, just small variations of this. And this is just things I did with watching Mewtwo King. How does he get grab? I'm going to practice literally every single way he does grab. Okay, he does down tilt dash grab, right? That's one of them.
So down tilt dash grab?
Yeah.
Oh, where he goes like...
Yeah, right?
Okay.
But you don't do that, right? Because you're not setting up enough down tilts, right? Can you wave dash down tilt into dash grab?
Oh, shoot.
Right? And
was that slow?
well, one is a little slow, and two is not a tipper, right?
Oh, I got to tipper it.
Well, do you want to get crouch canceled?
No.
Right?
Okay.
Right, and now I'm in the corner. I'm a little too high percent, right? But
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? Like, there's so many little caveats as you're practicing that you could skip, right? You could just keep practicing wave dash down tilt and not do the tippers. Right? You could just keep practicing your combo game the way you have been, right? Get close to Fox, do the scoop up air into up tilt, and then just, yeah. You know, the way you've been doing these combos and you've been improving, you know, and then you just, this is what you normally look like, right? That's what you're going to look like in tournament, dude. You're going to be dropping these combos the same way you drop them in practice.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I see it. I see it.
Right? So when you practice, and nothing lit this up more than me, nothing showed me more than this. When Armada and Mewtwo King practice with bots, right? They just do CPUs at tournaments, right? They just literally turn on a level 1 or a level 4 or whatever. And you know what they do? They zero to death them. Literally, it's not a tech chase, it's not anything. It's like the combo is inescapable death.
Okay. Yeah, because they have the neutral DI, and so they're able to just, they know these flow charts.
Yes.
So it's like, there's like a base kind of flow chart that all the other flow charts stem from it when you're comboing,
exactly,
right?
And if you get that good and that familiar with the base, imagine how much room you have to think about variation, how much time you have to react, right? But right now, the guy with the controller can't do that. The guy with the controller is not zero to deathing bots, right?
Mm-hmm.
How can you not? If you can't zero to death bots, you're never gonna zero to death a human.
Okay. Unless I get lucky or something, but nothing guaranteed that will really bar me from mid to high level play.
Exactly. You don't want to be lucky, right? You want to be consistent. Right, so you can control the things on your end, right? The moves you choose, how you attack, how you practice. Alright, we're about halfway through our lesson. Let's write some stuff down, okay? So one of the first things we noticed was that your forward approaches were weak. You have some weak forward approaches. You need to become more familiar with tipper range. Dash grab. You definitely need to dash grab more. The way you practice, right, affects tourney, right? So that, like, really the visual image you should have when I say the way you practice affects tourney is that falling up air up tilt, right? God damn it, it happened again. I don't know why.
Yeah, welcome back.
I don't know why it keeps doing that.
I don't know, man. Just wants you to play Smash 4, I guess.
It's a weird... It's a hotkey that I'm not hitting, but I'm probably hitting. Okay, so the last thing I said was the way you practice affects your tourney, right? And the big visual cue or image you want in your head is that falling up air you do during practice, right? Every time you do that into quick up tilt, that's another time you're gonna do that in tournament, right? So the way you practice really affects the way you go into tournament. So as you're practicing, make sure you zero to death that bot, or you hit exactly what you're thinking about, right? And that practice has got to be on the edge of what you're able to do, right? Don't fall back on your comfort stuff.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to do something I got lazy with, which is pushing myself to practice all these little bits and tech pieces. I'll admit, ever since I learned the basics and control, I just never bothered with it again because it was boring and I was lazy. But I really need to step that up again.
Yeah, your fundamentals were a little skipped in favor of going, straight to the track, right? But you want to learn how to move in all parts before you go back to moving, 0 to 60, right? Because when you're moving at 60 miles an hour, you're not killing me, right?
No.
So go back to 0 miles an hour and kill me, right?
Okay.
Right?
Because want me to try?
Well, can you 0 to death me from here?
I could probably do this.
Should be from grab, probably. It should be probably out of grab.
Oh, okay.
Right, you want to 0 to death me. You don't want to just hit me off the stage.
Crap. Okay, so that's another thing I always work on is when they tech. It's just because isn't that possible to down tilt to cover, but then to cancel the Isaiah frames and grab?
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you're throwing, you're not turning and down tilting fast enough. You started walking.
Oh, because I didn't trust the distance of it.
Yeah. You don't have time to walk. It's a very frame tight thing. Right, back, down throw, down tilt, turn grab. Right, it's very frame tight, and you can practice it without a human.
Damn it.
Right, so what G Money taught me was you're supposed to hold left as the grab ends.
Oh. Crap.
Right, and it doesn't matter how long you hold left. Right, and then you just have to time the down tilt. Right, so hold left, and then you'll turn, right? It buffers the turn.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Right, and it's small mechanical things like that, right? Where like you just can't skip it because as you're executing it, you never perfected it. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
Like you're asking yourself to do it in tournament, but you've never actually perfected it.
Crap. Is that looking fast enough?
That looks better. I mean, does that look faster than what you used to do?
I wouldn't know. I don't pay attention to myself enough. Oh. That's why I need coaching.
All right, man. It looks a lot faster. I'll say that, right?
Okay, cool.
Let's play friendly.
Oh god. I did the up air again. Yep, I asked for that one.
Alright, so that's 2 times I teched out on the platform, and you missed, right?
Okay.
Right, so hold on. Let's think about this. Let's think about this. Stand here. Okay, look at me. Alright. if you up throw me and I tech here, what do you do?
Want me to try to do it? Or you want me just to say it?
Why don't you do it? Oops.
Oh,
My bad.
awkward. Well, I'll try to do that. I'll try to...
Yeah,
if
go.
I thought you were going to go to this,
Yeah.
smash it, or at a higher percent, I think I would try to...
No, that's
maybe
good. That's
nair
fine.
it.
That's good. Why don't we do it? There you go, right?
But
So,
you can't react, you kind of have to read that, right?
well, you also waited quite some time to do wave dash F smash, right? During the throw, you could have walked over here, maybe, and then on reaction do it. Or
Okay,
if it's a read, you got the kill, right?
Okay. Can I F smash the left and right from just standing here, or do I have to walk a bit?
Why don't you test it?
Alright, so... Quick, I'm just curious, can you go to the other side? Am I to middle? So I'm not in the exact middle. What? What? There we go. But then can I get the other side is my question.
Probably not.
Later.
Probably not.
Okay, so you have to walk a little bit. Yeah.
Right? And this is just some practice that you need to do, right?
Okay.
And it's fine if you like hit me up to this platform and then read that I go out and tipper this, right?
Yeah,
It's fine at like all percents that it connects. Right?
Mhm.
And if should you whiff, it's just a whiff. Maybe you don't do it when you're at kill percent, right? If you whiff and I just hit you, right?
Okay, so other than F smashing on the platform, so if I can, I'll ask you, but you probably just have me test it. Can I up tilt both sides from standing here?
Why don't you test it?
Okay. Oh, not if they tech all the way out. Okay. Oh, but if I catch their animation, it does. Try to practice shield drops too, but I might be getting ahead of myself. Shield drops for aerials.
And you can practice them.
With the running shield drop. That sounds like Tipper. Huh. I need to work on those.
It's okay. It might be your controller. You can turn on UCF to really get that ease on. I think I turned on UCF, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think UCF's on, because like, my controller can go to the right well, but not the left at all.
Yeah, you have to turn it on. You have to turn it on with your own controller. It's per
Oh,
player.
really?
It,
Oh, so when it
So-
starts up and I gotta make this.
press left and right on the. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I thought that just did it for the whole game. That explains so much. 'Cause I thought when someone did that, it kind of just changed the global setting.
Nope, it's just personal settings.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense. Sometimes I would wonder if I just got worse at it or if UCF was broken on my.
No, it's pretty generous. The code's pretty generous.
Okay.
All right, so do me a favor. Do you see how I'm moving?
Yeah.
Can you mirror my movement? All right. So you see how I'm mixing in some fast ones in between,
Yeah.
and I'm staying underneath the platform, right? I'm not going past the platform. Good. All right. Mix in wave dashes.
Oops.
Try to stay on your side. Mix in wave dashes on both directions. Yeah, left and right. Make sure you're doing wave dashes also forward and backward. Right.
Okay, I see I have a habit to follow a wave dash forward with a wave dash back.
Right, and you want to dash, wave dash, dash sometimes?
Dash, wave dash, dash.
right?
Okay.
And basically, what you really want to do is make sure that you're doing every variation possible, so that you're not fixing yourself to exactly one pattern. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to open your mind to more patterns based on your current movement, right?
Okay.
Like, so your current movement needs to not be so blocky or chunked that you can blend in new ideas as they come.
Okay, because now that you mention it, I have that whole game plan in my head, like, coded. I just counter approach, and my dash dances kind of reflects that in a predictable and, as you said, blocky way.
Right, and you can do counter approaches with just wave dashes, right? You dash dance, wave dash back, exactly, right? And you are really good at counter approaching, right? And that's fine. You can still stick to a majority of your game plan as counter approaching, right? But when you do approach, it has to be stronger, and you want to be able to freely choose, right? Not just be restricted.
Okay. Okay, so the whole thing with me feeling like I have to either dash attack or
down tilt.
full hop up air is because that's all I give myself the option to do.
That's all you've practiced.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, dude, as Marth, literally one of my approaches, can you wait under platform for me? One of my approaches literally is this. Like, I literally just tip her F smash in neutral. Yeah. It's actually really good when they're doing this, right? And you get a read on them. Or they do this, right? Yeah. They're pretty much standing still when that happens, right?
Wrong again. I gotta get out of my dash. Okay. Again, I think I start the dash too close and I can't do the running F smash.
Exactly.
I gotta start right here.
Right. So you just need to become more familiar, right, with how you execute stuff so that the ideas in your head become better or come to fruition. Sorry. Right.
Okay.
Because the ideas in your head are fine.
What the? That doesn't hit.
Not forward. Not forward. The forward hitbox is not very good. The backwards one is very good. Right, and it's just up to you to manipulate your hitboxes more. And like I said, because you haven't explored these options in tournament, you still don't know their strengths and weaknesses exactly, right? It'll take you a couple tournaments to learn why you shouldn't fare a full drift forward, you know? And maybe you just get away with it for a while. But, like, you know, same with, like, wave dash wave dash forward down tilt, right? There's a lot of ways wave dash forward down tilt doesn't work because maybe the other dude keeps approaching you, right? So, like, your down tilts become soft down tilts, right?
And then that can be crouch canceled, or they could just hop
100%.
down here.
Exactly.
Or she
Right.
can just grab it. Okay.
Right. And it takes experience to understand why these approaches don't work. But right now you have experience in the counter approaches, right? And that just came with how you played tournament, right? You just kept going through tournaments doing that strategy.
I would just kind of try to read them, and then I would just rely on my kind of
Superior.
dumber and the unpredictable sense combo game, and that's honestly what would kind of carry me through most tourneys up until now. I wouldn't be known for being like, oh, that was a smart move you did. I'll just kind of be throwing out as many hitboxes as I can in dumb different ways.
And that's fine. It carried you to some distance, right? Being evasive and being kind of spiky, right? Being just knocking people off, right? But the two things you want to learn is when you do hit in a more controlled sense, right? Get the tippers and look for 0 to death, right? It's not just hit as quick as you can, right? Some of those falling up airs can lead to grab or more, right? But if you do an up tilt too fast, you forfeit that combo.
Okay, so that's what I was afraid I was doing earlier when I was talking about. It's kind of links into how sometimes I feel like people think I got a hit, I must keep swinging to get the 0 to death. I don't think I got the hit, what's the next step to get the 0 to death? And sometimes that step, you're saying that sometimes that step can be wait and tipper, or wait and hold space, and then that's like the next step, not just what's the next move that's going to hit.
Yeah, it's a mix of all those categories, right? And the most important one is that right now, one is you're not tippering all your moves just because you're not familiar with ranges. And then two, the way you practiced was too sloppy, right? You were willing to like improv your combos and play quick, right? Mm-hmm. You didn't take a lot of care during your punish game in your practice to like get that perfect 0 to death. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the more times you let me tech, the more times you knock me off and don't kill me, right? That's another time you have to win neutral. When instead, you can just watch another Marth that just gets kills off the first grab, right? Like, you can literally just practice grabbing me at these different percents, right? And going straight for kill. Right? There the up air chain was weak, right? And you have to ask yourself, why was it weak? Right? And the reason it was weak... You should have S-smashed that. So, like, even though you pick up some of these kills, like, I might have been able to grab the ledge, you might have missed that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though you're getting these, you still want to qualify it with more stuff, right? And so, hold up. When you were doing this up air string, right? You eventually punished me again before I could give you a chance to really figure it out. And I want you to take more time, dude, to figure out why your punishes aren't working. Because if you don't take this time, you're just going to practice punishes sloppily.
Alright, so...
Right? Wait, so hold up.
Okay.
Your up air is stronger here. Behind
it. It is? Oh. Oh,
okay.
The back hitbox of it?
So stop moving. Face left. Stop moving. Okay. This is where tipper up air is on the front. This is where tipper back air is. Okay. The up air on this side, I have less DI variation. Okay. The up air on this side, I can DI to there.
Oh.
Right. Okay. So I really need you to like slow it down as you combo to like understand why you're failing your combo, dude. Because you did this rising up air so fast, and then you started to do this like weak falling up air. And you should kind of know as it's happening, one, that weak up air is not going to hit, and two, if it did, the combo's over.
Okay.
Right? And then you just keep practicing that improv, is what happened, right? You just kept going for these weird moves until, I don't know, you found the edge guard, right? And like I said, that's how you're going to play in tournament, man. You're going to play in tournament by just doing these fast up airs into sloppy up air into fine edge guard, right? Instead of going, oh, when I sent him up, how can I keep him in the 0 to death, right? And really the answer is you have to move your body over here, right? So that your up air hits me on, you know, like this. Can you just come down to Smash 4?
Yeah, I'll join you in there.
I have no... Oh my gosh.
That's the AFK channel? What?
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know why it keeps moving me. Okay.
Alright.
Like I said...
Last thing I heard, by the way, was that even if the weak up air hit, the combo's over. And then you cut out.
Yeah, even if you hit the weak up air, the combo's over, right? So it's really up to you, dude, as you practice, to take a lot more diligence. Right? To not just keep going with your combo and doing your best to sloppily kill me.
Okay.
Right? Like, as you send me up here, the next up air, you have to do it so that the reverse side hits me here. Right? And
so reverse side, you mean like that? Right?
Okay, so... No. You would be here, and you do the up air here, right? So that the back side of it hits me, right? You'd be here, and the up air looks like this.
Oh. Wait, so I would like that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right. You want the back side to hit me because there's less DI variation. If you hit me here, I'm gonna go this way. right? But if you hit me here, yes, right, I'm gonna go behind or up.
Okay, so that could lead to what I kind of want, which is either, I do that, I land, and then you're off
Yes.
stage, and then I do something like maybe a fair, whatever, or if you go platform, then that's kind of what I'm trying to do, where I do that up air, then I land, and then maybe, I don't know, up smash, F smash, re-grab, fair, just anything.
Well, at the
But
right
if I just
percent.
do that...
Well, hold up. It needs to be at the right percent, right? So like when you do this hard up air and I'm behind you, I'm gonna pop up, right? But I won't pop up like here too early, right? Because that's what happened is you up aired me and then up aired me again, and I was here too early. I was at the wrong percent, and then the next hit you did was a soft up air, right? You want to, like, as you hit me, know exactly what's about to happen, right? And this just comes with practice, because right now, one is your hitbox knowledge is poor, right? And where I'm about to go with the knockback, right, is you're not familiar with that either, right? I had to tell you the DI variation thing, right? And that's fine. Not a lot of marks know this, right? But because you weren't even aware of this, you were never going to combo better, right? You're always going to do your up air wrong.
Because I always practice it wrong.
You never noticed.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I say, when you watch Marth do these offenses or these combos, you need to take way more care and slow it down and do exactly what they're doing, right? Qualify the up air. Did they start here? Did they start here? What part of the up air did it connect with?
So previously I'd see a combo and go, oh, cool, it's fair to up air to down air, but I should ask myself, why was the up air the way it was, not just the fact that it was an up air. So I'll have to, because looking at Smash the old way, it doesn't matter if they would do the up air like that or like this. In my brain, I went, that's just an up air into fair or something. Like, I wouldn't have questioned where they were.
Well, what you want to do, what you really want to do is question why your up air didn't look like theirs, right? Why aren't you getting 0 to deaths the way they are? Right? And it has nothing to do with your tech skill is worse, right? It's right now your decision making is worse.
I agree with that. I completely see that. Yeah.
Right, and a lot of lower level players would just force it and say, like, if I just perfected my tech skill better, or kind of do what you did with, like, that sloppy chain of combos. If I just got better at this thing, I'll always find that improv 0 to death. But dude, your base of knowledge is still weak, right? Your base of knowledge needs to be, I need a 0 to death when the situation goes correctly, not on improv.
Okay. I need to know what I'm doing, basically, not just throwing out moves and being like, yeah, I meant to do.
Well, dude, even if you do throw out the move, you should know what's about to happen before it happens, right? So, like, as you do this counter approach fair, right? Like, this is like the normal game plan you have, right? You ask Fox to come in, and then you do the fair. Well, even if you don't know exactly if the fair is going to be soft or hard, right? Because everything's happening so fast, right? Right there's 2 branching paths, hard and soft. So just maximize the damage on both ones right off the bat.
Maximize.
Right, so what does that involve?
Yeah.
That involves you dashing after the fair and reacting appropriately, right? It doesn't involve you, like, immediately down tilting or like falling up tilt, right?
Okay, so should I be, like, listening to react to the sound? Like, if I hear tipper, it's a tipper, and then I should know where the possibilities of them going are. If I hear the weak one, I'm like, oh, it's weak. Here are the possibilities. I'm going to get ready for those, and I react to that rather than just hearing a tipper and going, F smash.
I can't tell you if you can audio cue react that fast, but you're already asking the correct question, which is, how fast can I know the difference between the two? And I'll tell you, you'll know the difference between the two with practice, right? You're asking me for more specific advice, but I'll tell you, no matter what, with practice, you'll be able to discern the difference, right?
Okay.
And not only will you be able to tell if your fair is about to be, or, on reaction, you understand whether it's soft or hard, right? But not only that, but the follow-up you do will be better, too.
Okay.
Right?
It'll at least not drop. I'll at least maintain positioning or a couple more percent and keep the combo going rather than missing an F smash and now they teched in place and shined me or something like that.
Well, something like that, right? Like, you'll like land a fair and you'll learn like dash dance is a good follow up, right? Whether it's hard or soft, right? And then you'll go, okay, when it's a hard one after dash dance, you know, I can be a little bit more aggressive or something, right? And these are just small things you'll pick up as you start doing it more and more in tournament, right? What is the perfect follow up for all situations? How can I maximize my damage better? But one thing is like right now, some of the times you're falling back on comfort options that are just bad, right? And you wanna, as I said, have your base level game be open enough to throw in adaptation.
Okay, so by working on my neutral and my knowledge of hitboxes, I can use, like you said, my strength of counter punishing or just punishing in general. Because if I work on the neutral, or sorry, I'm getting my words mixed up. If I start with understanding the hitboxes and loosening up my neutral play, like my dash dances, I can use that strength you mentioned I have earlier everywhere, not just on the counter approach.
Exactly right. And sometimes you're like preoccupied with your movement, or you're preoccupied with your attack pattern. You know exactly what I mean, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking too much about what I want to do rather than what I should do in response.
What you should exactly do at the exact situation, right? And some of it, dude, is just, you know, you've only learned a few variations of rock, paper, scissors, right? But there's actually, you know, 1,000 versions of this rock in this situation, right? And you've only practiced 4 of the variations, right? You've only practiced dash attack, running, down tilt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
I only do those panic options where I feel like I'm being cornered and suffocated. But that's also a self-fulfilling prophecy, because I only do those options because my neutral is so blocky and tied up that that's the only thing I can do. And that's the thing I do, and then it's super easy to respond to.
Yep, right. And as you become more free and open, and like one of the lessons we talked about was cutting the distance in half, right? Our lesson's coming to an end, and I got to really write down. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, cutting the distance in half. So like, as you get better at all these different concepts, right, and you're exploring these things, and remember, you know, you said it yourself, keeping your neutral kind of like open and loose, right? To the point where you're able to fit in more stuff, right? Like, if necessary, you hold your position. If necessary, you know, you approach, right? And there's always caveats, like how far you approach, you know, like what moves you're approaching with, right? And as you learn all these things, you're going to ask better questions, you're going to watch YouTube better, and you'll play to your own strengths better and understand your weaknesses better.
Okay, I see. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to be doing for myself from now on. I'm going to start by just practicing those hitboxes, like you said, but I'm going to start becoming a lot more cognizant of the whys and the reasoning behind the moves rather than the moves themselves.
Exactly.
The more I talk to you, the more I realize I've had for lack of a better term, a dumb approach to melee, where it's just like I almost try to play Marth like a dumb fox, where I go, if I throw enough hitboxes, it'll work out. I'll cover everything with as many moves as I can do, but that can only get me so far.
Yes, and it's gotten you this far, right?
It's gotten me relatively far. I'm happy with where I am right now, but I could always be better, you know?
Yeah, and you can use the same playstyle, but with more knowledge, right? Better hitbox knowledge, better follow-up knowledge, better movement options.
That's exactly what I wanted to do. I thank you so much for helping me out with this, because that's exactly the kind of mindset I went into this with, where I'm not doing bad, I'm just not doing it right.
Yeah.
And I need someone like you to kind of help me pick that apart.
Definitely, man. Use YouTube to your advantage. Remember to look at exactly how Marth is doing it, exactly what you're doing, what patterns you're doing, right? And do yourself a favor and get 20xx. There is a really good exercise in there that I really want to recommend to you. Can you tune into the stream?
Yeah.
I'll show it to you right now, right? So I'm going to close up our lesson.
Okie dokie. Should I keep you on the mic, or should I listen to the stream?
Why don't you just listen to the stream?
Okay.
All right. Thanks, man. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm going to show them real quick, a quick drill. And then I'll go back to paying attention to chat. Okay, you're here. Okay, so I'm opening up 20xx.